Okay guys, unfortunately I can't be here for you on the day that you're taking your quiz, but as I've written in the subplan, you're supposed to be checking your homework answers. You can do that you should have done that during APT, and also during the APT you could have checked the pre-quiz answers and gotten some clarification. So you're going to turn in both of those assignments. Please make 2 separate piles for your table. Turn in the homework first, and then go ahead and turn in the pre-quiz. So I'm collecting 3.2A, make sure your names are on them. Then go ahead and make another stack for the pre-quiz and turn those into the due today tray. So basically I'm collecting 2 separate homework assignments from you. So today, just again looking at this calendar here, you guys are going to be taking a quiz for Module 3, but first I'm going to give you the video lesson here for 3.2B, which shouldn't take too long. This video is limited to 15 minutes, so I've already used 1 minute and 10 seconds of it, so you do the math. Alright, so if you go ahead and open up your binders to page 57. 3.2B, classwork, graph from the slope-intercept form. You can press pause if you need to get caught up here. Alright, so slope-intercept form. What does y equals mx plus b stand for? No, not your mama's ex-boyfriend. It stands for y equals the slope times x plus the y-intercept, hence the name slope-intercept form. So guys, this is pretty straightforward lesson here. On a coordinate plane, you're going to draw a line with a slope of 1/3, and remember a slope means a rise over a run. You should be writing. And it says draw a line with a slope of 1/3. Does it tell us where that line should be located? No. We can draw a line anywhere we want. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick a point, and just randomly I'm going to pick the origin. Just put a point there. Now if I draw a line that has that slope, all I'm doing is rising 1 and running 3. So rise 1 and run 3. And put another dot there. And do the same here. Rise 1, run 3. Rise 1, run 3. And if instead of rising up and right, you can see that the line would also continue down here. Instead of going up and right, I can go down and left, and down and left. And then I'll just continue until I run out of room. Now if I was to connect those dots with a ruler, like you guys should do when you ever draw a line, I end up with a slope of 1/3. Let's answer the question. What did you do to draw your line to ensure that your slope has a line of 1/3? Well, we started at a point, doesn't matter where on this question, and rise 1, run 3. By the way, what did we do when we went the other way? Or rise -1 and run -3. Of course, you know why those are the same, because negative divided by negative is really a positive. Any questions? Good. On a coordinate plane, draw a line with a slope of -2. What did you do to draw your line to ensure that your slope line has a slope of -2? Do that. Let's pick a different point. How about 5, 5? Put a dot there. So if I now have a slope of -2 over 1, obviously it's going to be a downhill line. So let's go down 2 and right 1. Down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. Instead of down and right, the opposite of that would be, like if I wrote this, instead of going down 2 and right 1, I could go up 2 and left 1. Up 2, left 1. Up 2, left 1. And again, connect it with a ruler, and if any of them are out of place, that means you might have counted incorrectly. The same answer. We started at a point, except we did a rise of -2 and a run of 1, or a rise of +2 and a run of -1. So same answer. For number 3, what is the equation for the equation y equals 2/3 x minus 1? y equals mx plus b. Well, that's the slope, 2/3. What's the y-intercept? -1. Okay, so if this line has a slope of 2/3 and a y-intercept of -1, so what you do is, if you remember that the letter b represents the y-intercept, remember I said that you technically can think of this as where you begin your graph. So begin your graph on the y-axis located at -1. So just go down 1, put your first dot there. So here we just randomly picked any points we wanted to because it didn't tell us anything. It just said draw a line with a slope. Here they're telling us, look, this line has a slope of 2/3 and a y-intercept of -1. So we have to begin at that point of -1. So now, using the slope like we did over here, we're just going to count all the rest of the points on the line that have a slope of 2/3. So you're going to rise 2 and run 3. Put another dot. Rise 2, run 3, rise 2, run 3. And when you run out of room, go the opposite. Instead of going up and right, you could also go, continue in the pattern, down and left. Down and left. Down 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay? Use a ruler. Connect the dots. Make sure you lined up all your points, and you're good. By the way, these should have arrows at the ends, which means that we could continue this pattern forever. Okay, next page. For the numbers 4 through 9, graph the given equation by first plotting the y-intercept, then use the slope to plot a second point. So they only want us to plot 2 points. Okay, that makes it easy. So y equals mx plus b. You should begin this graph here at +1. And then if my slope is equal to 3, remember that's really 3/1. So you rise 3 and run 1. It just says to plot a second point. Let's go ahead and modify that. Let's plot a second, third, and fourth point. So let's do another one. 1, 2, 3, and 1. And then try always to go in the opposite direction too. Instead of up 3 and right 1, let's go down 3. 1, 2, 3, and left 1, and then connect your points. And they should be all nice and lined up. The reason I want to do more than 2 points is because you won't know if you're right or not. If I pick any 2 points on a graph and connect them, don't they make a straight line? Of course, you're all saying yes. But if I plot 4 points and I've used the slope, I've now double checked that my slope is consistent throughout the line. Okay, number 5. Y equals mx plus, well, you should all be recognizing what the means. What am I adding to this equation? What number do you see here? And you're, of course, saying you don't see a number at all. But you know that that really means we're adding 0, right? You all said yes, of course. So if that is 0, isn't that where I begin my graph? And if I begin my graph at 0, what that means is I'm actually starting on the origin. Then I'm going to use my slope of -3/4, which you know is the same as 3/4, to plot 2 more points. So plot 3 more points, a second, third, and fourth. So this means to go down 3 and right 4. Do it again. Down 3, right 4. And then go 1 in the opposite direction. Instead of down and right, let's go up and left. Up 3, left 4. And then connect them with a ruler. And you've made your line. Okay, now I want you to skip number 6 and skip number 9. We're going to come back to those. Go ahead and do number 7 and 8. I'm going to have the teacher press pause now. You guys do 7 and 8 and then come back, press play, and to check your answers. It'll take you maybe a couple minutes to do these. All right, number 7. You should have began your graph at +3 because that's your B, your y-intercept. Then go down 3 and right 2, down 3, right 2, or up 3, left 2. That's what your line should look like. Number 8. The slope is 1/5. The y-intercept is nothing, 0. So you begin at the origin and rise 1, run 5, rise 1, run 5, or go down 1 and left 5. Okay, number 6 and 8 and 9 are actually the ones that we dealt with last time in the other section in 3.2a. So what do you notice about this? Let me write y equals mx plus b next to this. What is this missing? Well, notice that it has a number, like a b, but it doesn't have an x. So guys, if this x isn't there, if there's no x at all, what that means is that the slope must be the only number in the world that can make something disappear when I multiply it. And of course, I hope you're recognizing that that means the slope is 0. So if you have a slope of 0, it makes x go away, and all you're left with is a y-intercept. Well, as you should remember, a slope of 0 means you have a horizontal line. A horizontal line, of course, is the same parallel to the x-axis. But where do you place that horizontal line? Well, all you do is find that spot on the y-axis, which is right there, and then you draw a horizontal line through that point. That's the easiest line in the world to graph. All you got to know is if there's no x, that means that the slope is 0. And where do you put your line? You put it at whatever that says. If it says y equals 7, you put it at 7. If it says y equals negative 7, you would have put the line down here at negative 7. If it said y equals 0, where would you put it? You'd put it right on top of the x-axis. Okay, number 7 has a y and no x. Number 6 has a y and no x. Number 9 has an x and no y. Well, if a y with no x is horizontal, guess what an x and no y is? Hopefully you're saying vertical. Guys, this is the one that has the undefined slope. The slope is undefined. And if it has an undefined slope, you know it's a vertical line. Well, where am I going to place that vertical line? Take a guess. Find x equals negative 1, which is right here, and just draw yourself a vertical line. Again, what should you write down? A y with no x has a 0 slope. An x with no y has a slope that's undefined. And you should remember 0 slopes and undefined are respectively horizontal lines and vertical lines. Last page. Only number 10 left to go, and I have 3 minutes to spare. John was asked to graph the line y equals negative 1/2 x plus 1. He graphed the line below and made a mistake, described John's error, and then graphed the line correctly on the same coordinate plane. That was fast. Let's see. He was supposed to begin at 1. Did he? Yes, he did. And then he was supposed to rise 1 and run 2. Up. Rise 1 and run 2. He did, except that little guy got in the way. So, of course, his line should not be going uphill. It should be going downhill because his slope is equal to negative 1/2, which is the same as that. So instead of rising 1 and running 2 to the right, he should go down 1 and right 2. Basically, it's the same line except going the negative slope direction instead of the positive. And that's it. There's the line on the same coordinate plane going downhill instead of uphill. Connect your points nicely and neatly. Put arrows on the end indicating that we could do this forever. Oh, describe John's error. This is part of the problem that you guys end up with on quizzes and tests is that you don't actually follow the directions. What did he do? His error was John forgot about the negative slope. Okay, all done with 1 minute and 5 seconds to spare. Good luck on your quiz. Take your time. Read the directions. I know I'm upside down. Read the directions. Adios.